the. Okay, cool.
And how's it going, everybody? My name is Matt with BZBGEAR, and today we are going to be covering ISE 2023. It's coming up here at the end of the month. We're really excited to be going. And if you didn't know, ISE is taking place over in Spain. And thankfully, we actually are going to have a guest today directly from Spain. His name is Suso Carrillo. He is a really, really big presence in the industry. If you didn't know anything about him, I can't do his story justice. So I'm going to go ahead and get him in here. He is an industry professional of over 20 years. He's a huge marketing force. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get Suso and my friend Joel Cruz into the stream here. How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Hi, really nice. Thank you for the invite.
Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate you coming on. So Suso, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I've had the pleasure of working with you a few times. You've done me a huge solid in kind of teaching me the ropes of NDI and everything, but you do so much more than just talk about NDI. So go ahead and talk about yourself for a little bit.
Yeah, well, right now I'm the head of marketing of NDI at BZBGEAR Group, but I've been working in this industry, in the video industry, I don't know, maybe since 25 or even 30 years ago. So the thing is that I begin like a technician, but then I wanted to understand more and more what's going on with the technology. So then I became an editor of a broadcasting engineering magazine. Then I jumped into a startup to understand the streaming and artificial intelligence. And at some point, I became also the director of the SRT Alliance, the SRT open source protocol. I have a really nice time working at High Vision, but then at some point I decided also to jump into NDI, as I think that is going to be the next greatest thing, or it is actually the next great thing in the video industry.
Yeah. So by the way, I just want to throw this out there. If you've ever consumed any of New Tech's content, NDI's content, anything along those lines, as far as video is concerned, this guy right here has been the mastermind behind it all. So if you're going to ISE, you're probably going to see him running around. He might have a camera with him. He might have a huge tripod, but he produces some fantastic content. So we're really, really glad to have him here. So I think before we actually jump into ISE, we'll go ahead and talk about Spain a little bit because, I don't think a whole lot of people get to go to Spain, especially on a work trip. So I think we might want to talk a little bit about some cool things that we might be able to do while we're in Spain.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
No. I was just gonna add that it was nice meeting Suso. I think I first met you at NAB show last year in Vegas. And then, then again, we reconnected at IBC in Amsterdam. And we had some great talks. And then, talking about, upcoming that ISE is going to be at Barcelona now instead of Amsterdam for a bigger venue. Since then I've been wanting to, kind of pick your brain, like, Matt mentioned, just it'll be a lot of our first time in Spain, Barcelona. If you just give us like a little tips on where what to see over there, where are the good spots to eat, the good dishes, what is Spain known for,
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if it's the first time you are going to be in Spain, I can tell you from now that you're going to love it. By the way, I love Amsterdam also, but I'm super happy to have ISE in Barcelona. It's just 2 minutes by high-speed train from Madrid, 1 hour by plane, and that stuff. Well, I think that the best thing about Spain is about the behavior of the Spanish people. So we are happy people. We are happy people almost every time, and and we like to have some spare time during the afternoons and the evenings. That's why we used to have dinner really late. For you guys, it's really typical to start to dinner in Spain like at 10 p.m. or something like that.
Oh, really?
It's one of the and indeed that's a problem when me as an Spaniard travel abroad. I remember the first time going outside Spain, and I didn't realize that people used to have dinner much earlier than we did. So you get to a place like, I don't know, Sweden or something like that in Europe, and then at 7 at 7 p.m. everything is closed. you know and you can dinner, if you are in a hotel and that kind of stuff. So that's great. So I think that it's we love to to walk a lot around the cities. There's a lot of living in the streets in almost every city in Spain. That's something that I think, the first time you come to Spain is something that you need to do, is just walk through the streets, walk in the downtown, to see how the people is behaving. We have also, in our culture, there's a lot of bars and restaurants everywhere because of this tapas culture we have. The thing is that tapas it is not just one kind of dish. Tapas is a small or not small,
Yeah.
uh, dishes that you can share with your friends. So when we say that, hey, let's go tomorrow to have some tapeo. Tapeo means that you are going to at least 3 or 4 different bars, eat, different dishes at every place. You are going to share all the food. We love to share food with each other, and typically you are going to drink beer or wine.
Oh,
You know, that's
always
that's
a
something that
plus.
you definitely need to try. And when it comes to a city like Barcelona, there's a lot of places for sure. You need to try the Gothic district in the downtown. It's really old, but it's really nice. Also, the Ramblas is this great avenues that reaches to the sea, and it's a beautiful city. Also, the Sagrada Familia, that it's a huge church that it's unfinished, and it was designed by this architect Gaudi. It's really nice. It's really different to the rest of the churches you can see in well, I would say in the world, but let's say in Europe. It's really different.
Yeah.
And I think as the first time, that's the thing that you need to see. There is a nice place also to have tapas and that stuff. That is a district called Barceloneta, that is between the beach and the harbor. That's a nice place, to walk around and have some nice food. And I would say, well, when it comes to food, uh, Barcelona, it's really great with everything related to fish, grilled fish for sure,
Mm.
vegetables, vegetables. They have really absolutely outstanding vegetables and rices. Paella is most typical from Valencia, that is most, on the south of Spain. But
Uh-huh.
in Barcelona, you can have really nice paellas about different flavors with seafood or meat, or or a mix or something like that. You definitely need to try that.
That's what I brought up on our last one of our last episodes was paella.
Yeah,
That's a known dish, right? With the rice and the yeah, you can have like
yeah,
scallops and seafood, and depending on
exactly.
what type you get. But
The
yeah,
thing with
that
paella is that when it's properly done, in any kind of rice, when it's properly done,
Mhm.
it's absolutely delicious. It's one of the, I would say, one of the most delicious things you can eat.
Oh, okay. And then the beach. So the weather. I mean, I know it's a lot of our team. It's going to be the first time. I have been there one time, just maybe 10 years ago.
Mm,
We went around September, so it was still warm. You could go to the beaches,
yeah,
but February, January, February, it's
it's a
totally
bit
it's
cold. It's a bit
cold, right?
cold.
So
It's,
you
it's
can't.
a bit,
Okay.
yeah. No, the thing with Barcelona is that as is on the seaside, there's a lot of humidity. It's going to be a bit cold. Not as Madrid. That right now, it's funny because in Madrid we have like 15 days of cold. You know, every year we are right now in that. What I mean for cold here is right now we are like at 6 degrees Celsius positive. For us, that's like, oh, there's an apocalypse happening. We are all going to die, something like that. And I tell to my friends, oh my, don't tell me, I've been in Montreal in January with -25. You don't know what it's called. I understand you because I'm from Madrid, but you don't know what it's called. When it's really cold, it hurts. You know. So we cry a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
hope you're taking notes, Matt. I don't have a thing. Jot down all the food and places that he's talking about.
Yeah, will be like around 10 Celsius, 13 Celsius, something like that.
I know what is the Fahrenheit and the conversion.
Yeah, I don't know. I always misunderstand the Fahrenheit conversion and that stuff.
Same here.
Well,
like miles per hour,
I'm taking notes, Joel,
and then Fahrenheit.
I have a quick question. You mentioned you either drink beer or wine. Which one's better in Spain, beer or wine? Which one are you more known for?
Oh, is there a need to choose?
Why not both?
What we used to do is, the first thing we used to do when we go to have some tapas typically is to have a beer as a first drink, and then maybe we will take another. But at some point, most of us shift to wine. Red wine. I'm a fan of red wine. I don't like so much white wine. Red wine is nice.
Good for the heart.
Yep, good for the heart. Exactly.
Well, I think that could be a pretty good segue into actually getting into ISE, because I remember going to NAB in Vegas was the first trade show that I had really been to. And it kind of took me by surprise that they were serving alcohol at the trade show. So since, you guys are known for the beer and the wine, is that going to be a thing at ISE? Is there going to be a lot of that at the trade show?
Indeed, one thing that I think that you are going to see there, and indeed I have been already invited to a couple of them, is that after paella or with paella, one of the most delicious thing you can I think you can try worldwide is ham. It's jamón ibérico, Iberic ham. That's fantastic. That it's a kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's a kind of dry leg of, it's like prosciutto.
Mm-hmm.
Prosciutto di Parma, but it has nothing to this. Absolutely delicious. And
you're talking about the thin slice meat, right? Like very expensive.
It's really great. It's pork, and the thing is that you're going to see that with wine a lot at ISE. If you see, that there is someone cutting ham, so don't doubt. Just go there, take this, and try that, because that's really amazing. Indeed, I'm a follower in YouTube of two guys. I think they are from San Antonio, that do a lot of barbecues and stuff. They love meat. It's this kind of love.
That's my hometown right now.
Because I love barbecues, and smoke that stuff. So a funny thing is that the other day, I think it was like a month ago, they ordered a 5Js, 5Js in Spanish. It's the best ham you can have. I think they pay like $2,000 for that leg of ham.
Wow.
And and they were looking for a lot of tutorial videos of how to cut ham properly, because it's really difficult. And they did it, and they did super well. And when they taste it, both of them say, "Man, this is the most delicious thing we have ever tried."
Wow.
Joel, I guess you have something to look forward to when you're at the show.
Yeah, no. It's funny. I was just talking to my dad just the other day, and he told me he knows I'm going to Barcelona for the trade show. He said specifically, "What, you don't have to bring me any magnets or clothes or anything. I want they have this famous ham that's very expensive, and they're known for it. I don't know where to get it, but find out and bring me some home." So, man, so I gotta hook up with you, Suso, and you gotta let me know what marketplace.
Absolutely,
go to.
Absolutely. Let's catch up in Barcelona. But that's and you need to try that. It's really delicious, really amazing.
All right.
All right, so I know what Joel's going to be doing, and I know why Joel's going to ISE now. But for everybody else, I think we'll go ahead and dive fully into ISE now. But ISE, it's really kind of the the first really big trade show in the pro AV industry of this year of 2023. And obviously, we've kind of covered a little bit of a reason why you should go. Number one, it's in Spain. Why wouldn't you want to go and see a beautiful country and hang out in a really cool town such as Barcelona and enjoy all the great food? But obviously, we're going to be having some really, really cool products there. And Suso is going to be talking to us a little bit about NDI. So why is NDI at ISE a must-see?
Well, I think that, like 10 years ago or something like that, a friend of mine, it's also a colleague from the industry, told me, Suso, it looks like the world is definitely going to video. Meaning that, video looks like in a couple of years is going to be everywhere. And that also happened. It's in our day-to-day. It is here right now. It's in our meetings. It's in our, when we have fun, in our smartphones. It's everywhere. And that already happens. And the thing is that, sometimes it's difficult to connect everything, and at the same time, we have this IP revolution or video over IP revolution, where video that traditionally, has used its own cables, protocols, standard aside from the IT industry. Now there's some kind of convergence there. So, and that's where that's the point for NDI. NDI, what's do it's that it connects video, audio, control, and metadata over an standard Ethernet network, whether LAN or WAN. That's the magic. So right now that everything is video and you want to connect different stuff, it doesn't matter if you are a content creator, that you have a small channel in YouTube, or you are a huge broadcaster that wants to do a lot of stuff with remote production or whatever. You need that, you need a standard that can easily connect all the stuff that you really need. That's where NDI is a fit, and that's also happening in the Pro AV industry. So I think that the Pro AV industry, that is what ISE is about, has been living a lot of time in these walled gardens, where a manufacturer deploy their own solutions, and if you want to continue growing, you need to continue buying what that manufacturer was releasing, and it was really difficult to find gateways or ways to connect with another stuff. So NDI is a layer that can connect everything. It is becoming a de facto standard. That's why I think that if you are thinking right now, or you are figuring out how it's going to be your audiovisual installation, right for now, for the present, and also the future ones, you need to take a look at what's going on with NDI, because if I had to highlight a feature of NDI, I think it would be interoperability. That was enabled mostly.
Yeah, and you guys have so many really cool tools that kind of enable that kind of interoperability, such as and I think it's NDI camera. I forget, but it's an app that you can get on your iPhone that literally lets you use this to use your phone as another camera, like a mobile camera in a live operation or anything like that. It's really, really great for things like houses of worship, for example, because pretty much everybody has a phone. And if you wanted to get like an action cam or something along those lines, you could have a volunteer easily download that app. And then now you have a mobile action cam that can run around the house of worship, getting action shots like on the guitar as they're playing music or whatnot. So it's definitely opened up a lot of doors. And I think one of the most convenient things really is just the fact that it does use the local area network that's already installed in the building. So whether that's connecting wirelessly with the phone, or if it's connecting directly through an Ethernet cable and just using the cabling throughout the building, It makes some things really, really easy to do. So definitely a must see at ISE. So does that mean you guys are going to have a booth at ISE?
Yeah, well, I think not exactly. We're going to have a collaboration with AMD at the booth 5D300, and this is why you know NDI is all about the partners and the users. So we have
Mm-hmm.
a huge adoption thanks to our NDI tool suite. That is a free suite of different tools that you can use to integrate NDI into your workflow. And then we have our partners and licensees that are developing, NDI products. So I think that we have like 30 or 40 companies in the show floor. But the most important thing is that we want to show this interoperability. And to show this interoperability, one of our partners, that is AMD, because their chips, enables
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this technology and developments to happen. So we're going to show an end-to-end workflow with 6 different partners at the AMD booth, so we can explain how NDI works in a real environment. With no magic, no nothing. It's a real workflow happening there. So 5D300. Anyone that can see, that wants to see how these workflows works, just drop by that booth.
Okay, so 5D300, and that's the
Yep,
AMD booth, correct?
correct, correct. We
Okay,
are
so
also, as we are right now, we are splitting from new tech. You know that NDI, was invented like in 2015 from new tech. But right now, as we are converting in a de facto standard, NDI has a completely different business unit from new tech. We have our
okay,
own roadmap, our own budget, our own team, and we are completely independent. But despite that, there's going to be also some information at the new tech booth, because we know that a lot of people still thinking that NDI and new tech is the same thing. So when they get into the show, they're going to go to the new tech booth to ask for NDI information. There's going to be information there, and there is going to be also some NDI people at the new tech booth.
what do you think is the biggest draw to NDI for the pro AV industry?
Oh, I think that there's a lot. I think that Um, the thing is that when it comes to live video, and when it comes to live video through the internet, and when it comes to live video over and managed networks, even managed networks, there's also a lot of friction there. It's a process where there's a lot of stuff that can be wrong, that can fail. It doesn't matter if we take a look at big sports, house of worship, all of that. So I think that when it comes to that and the content creator economy, what NDA enables is to get rid of that friction. One of the things that I love the most of the protocol is that it really works. Indeed, the other day I know about people that use NDI for doing some sort of remote event with different locations and that stuff, and they just had like I think it was like 24 hours or something like that to enable, and
Mhm.
build all the setup for them. NDI was key, because the only thing that they needed really to switch is just an Ethernet cable to the devices, the switches, and that's it.
Yeah,
Then NDI discovered all the devices, and you are running the live production. So that from one side, and building these multi-vendor workflows from the other, I think it's like is that's the one of the major points for NDI in the Pro AV industry.
I would definitely have to agree to that because like it does make things a lot easier when um, you really are just kind of simplifying it down to either connecting to the network with something like this, or just plugging in an Ethernet cable and everything it just is recognized. And then all you have to do from there is either have a computer with the software or something like that, like you could download it on your own PC, or you could get something like the TriCaster, and then you're set, you're ready to go.
Mm.
So I think that's a big thing, but also just opening new doors, like allowing phones to be used, allowing you to take a different source, like a PTZ camera that you wouldn't normally be using as like a webcam or something along those lines, and be able to use it as a webcam. Stuff like that just really opens up a lot of doors for the pro AV industry.
Yeah. No, I think that, along the next 5 years, towards the next 5 years, we're going to see an evolution to simplicity. And as you say, Matt, the use of these kind of devices is going to be, all along the video space.
Yeah.
And don't forget the cloud also. The cloud is also happening. The cloud also provides a lot of features to the video workflows, and you also need some protocol or something to connect to the cloud, and even move this content in the same cloud or different ones.
Yeah. So since you mentioned that, how does NDI interact with the cloud? Because I mean, I know when you talk about the cloud, it kind of encompasses a lot, but how does NDI itself interact with it?
Yeah, well, you can use this NDI bridge application to connect to AWS or whatever, but also there's some proof of concept happening right now with some cloud providers that they are trying NDI, they're testing NDI to move content, within their data centers and that stuff. So it's again, it's an easy way to use another resources.
So constantly innovating, kind of working on developing that
Absolutely.
end of the feature.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's going to come a lot of features, that will come in the future are going to come, around the live production in the cloud.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to see how NDI Bridge continues to grow, because I don't think we really talked about it on the stream, but from my understanding, because I haven't actually really used NDI Bridge, but from my understanding, it essentially allows you to run a production from because normally NDI focuses on the local area network, but NDI Bridge focuses on the wide area network. So you could theoretically run a live production from California when it's being done in Florida.
Yeah, correct.
So that's mind blowing to me.
Indeed, is much better than that, because what NDI Bridge allows is to connect different local networks, so that you are creating, a wider network. So you can, switch whatever device is here to whatever device is here, and, interact with everything. It's not about, just point-to-point contribution and that kind of stuff. And I think that's amazing. Doing that with low latency, it's really,
That is mind blowing to me. But
that's absolutely great. I think that's one of our of our best features, and for sure that we're going to to improve and enhance NDI Bridge in the future.
Yeah, and I could see that having a huge impact on the industry in the next 10 years as the technology continues to grow, because if you can have essentially production suites that work out of their own home base, they don't really have to move anywhere to do live production. They can stay where they're at, and then you just have a production team go out and shoot the content or whatever. That would simplify a lot of things, I would think.
Yep, absolutely.
So NDI, one of the things that we do as BZBGEAR, we actually really love NDI, especially NDI HX. So, Joel, I think we have a few products that we're going to be talking about regarding NDI at ISE that we are producing in partnership with NDI. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. We have a line of NDI HX products already. Most of them are NDI HX2, but for the new stuff that we'll be bringing to ISE, a couple of these guys are Adamo line, our series, our award-winning Adamo series. So the one on the right, or your guys' left, the white camera here is our 4K. It's 4K at 60 and NDI HX3. So this one was recently certified now as NDI HX3. So it's one of the few cameras right now, certified and everything, official. And then this one, we were trying to keep it on the low, but I guess it's close to the show now. So we're gonna unveil this guy at ISE. Now, this is a 1080p version of our 4K Adamo. Basically the same thing, smaller form factor. And it does, 1080p at 60. Because we know there's going to be a market for that, because, not everybody will need 4K, the truest. Maybe, some people just, happy with, the smaller, cheaper version, 1080p. Full HD. That's still, very nice quality, nowadays. I know 8K is going to be on the way. Speaking of 8K, that's one of the new lines. We're going to have a new line of 8K products at the show also. But but our NDI HX3 will be are these guys right here. We're very proud of it. So if you guys are able to come to the show, our booth is 5J200. So come and check us out there. You'll learn about our cameras, NDI technology. Our guys are versed in it now. So like Suso said, you could go to the AMD, New Tech, or BZBGEAR if you want to learn more about NDI and NDI HX tech.
Yeah, and just to kind of talk about the difference between the Adamo and the Adamo Junior that we are coming out with. So like we're talking about the Adamo Junior, it's 1080p. That's the big focus with it. If you were going to be using either of these cameras for their NDI HX functions, I just want to make sure that we kind of cover this real quick, because I remember talking to Suso about this a little bit. HX, the target for it is 1080p. That's not to say that you couldn't try going above that. So if you are just looking for something that can do 1080p and you're really just interested in the HX function, the Adamo Junior is a great way to kind of funnel yourself into that. And if that's all you're going to be doing with it, it's a great option. The Adamo 4K is a great option if you want the ability to do 4K content. Mostly that's going to be recorded content. You could try doing it through NDI, but just recognize that you're going to need a lot more bandwidth and a lot more probably troubleshooting to get that working, just because of how much raw bandwidth it eats up. I think I'm covering that correctly, Suso, correct?
Yep.
Okay. We just want to make sure that we cover that, because NDI HX3 specifically, it's essentially and I did a whole video about this, but it's kind of a not a signing off, but it's a standard essentially that they're trying to meet with HX3, and that standard is within the 1080p spec. So you can try and go above that, but it's just rated for the 1080p. So just wanted to cover that. Joel, are we missing anything else that we're going to be talking about or showing off at the booth regarding NDI?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we do have our VPTZ line, HSU3, that we have an NDI model of that as well. That's an NDI HX2. But I think we will have that at the show as well. But the main players that will be showcasing are these bad boys right here.
Awesome. So Joel, what booth are we going to be at ISE?
Oh, the team who's coming to the party to Spain with us?
Yeah. Do you know the booth number off the top of your head?
Oh, the booth number. It is 5J200. Again, 5J200.
5J200.
Yeah, we have a free guest passcode. It's some weird number, but I'm sure we'll post it up in the descriptions below or something. It's FT blah 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 or something. It's not as easy as the past trade shows. Before it was just BZBGEAR and then our booth number or something like that. But
we'll make sure after this is over to post our guest code in the event comments. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check those out. But I think that about covers everything at ISE that I wanted to go over. Suso, did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, looking forward to see you guys at Barcelona at the ISE trade show. For sure that we will have some tapas together.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you coming on. We don't want to keep you up too late because I understand it's quite a bit later there in Spain than it is for us. So thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you talking about NDI and kind of some of the stuff that is going to be, number one, things to see in Spain, but number two, why people should be going and why they should care about NDI and see NDI there. So again, thank you. We appreciate you coming on. And until next time, guys, we will see you in the next live stream.
Safe travels.
Take care.
Safe travels.
Goodbye.